Know someone who graduated from the bootcamp and just making tons of money becoming a developer? Are you thinking that you should probably attending a coding bootcamp because learning to code on your own is so hard? If you are thinking about all of these scenarios, this might be a perfect video for you because we are going to talk about the things that you have to consider before you are committing into a coding bootcamp. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Vicky and you can also call me Victoria. I am so passionate about helping you to get your first developer job, and also if you are currently a developer, I would love to share more information with you about web development and all things JavaScript. Coding bootcamp isn't for everyone because it's so intense and sometimes your expectation does not match really what you're seeing when you get out of the bootcamp. So the first thing and the most important thing is you need to make sure that you actually enjoy coding, because if you are not enjoying coding, the hurdle and the intensity of the coding bootcamp is going to throw you off. So you might wonder, right? Like, how do I even know if I enjoy coding before I even know anything about coding? So what I would recommend is spending a lot of hours coding on your own before you even committing into the bootcamp. One of the ways that you can actually get a taste of coding is by going to freecodecamp.com, and I am not sponsored, and this is a free coding website that allows you to learn different coding languages, and you wanted to make sure that you at least commit yourself 100 hours of coding before you even consider getting into a coding bootcamp. And the reason for that is pretty obvious. If Googling and trying to solve a problem is a huge obstacle for you and you just generally don't like building things or problem solving, you might not really enjoy coding, because coding is all about finding ways to solve problems. Making sure that you really enjoy coding is going to really guarantee you to be successful at the bootcamp. Number 2, don't just do it for the money. I know money is important, and if that is the reason why you're joining the coding bootcamp and expecting to be a lot of money because you know someone, a friend of a friend that actually graduated from a coding bootcamp and now works at Google or Facebook, and they just loaded. If that's the case, make sure that you do a lot of research on the bootcamp and see how many of the percentage of their graduates are actually going to get into these big tech companies. Because a lot of times these coding bootcamps might be advertising you and telling you that we've got this average of how much our graduates are making. You just gotta do more research to make sure that the bootcamp that you're committed to is worth your money that you're investing in, and they are actually going to make you to get into all these big tech companies. The third thing is check the job board before you even thinking about committing to bootcamps. Do your own research on entry-level or junior-level developer positions that are actually out there. A quick tip is checking on LinkedIn, Glassdoor, Indeed in your area and looking for that particular position and see how much of them are actually requires 0 years of experience. If there's more coding bootcamp grads out there and more self-taught developers out there looking for the same exact position, you guys are gonna have a very hard time of competing with each other, because demand versus supply, right? If you have a high demand of all these bootcamp grads and university grads and self-taught developers out there looking for that first year of experience, and there's just not that many jobs out there, it's gonna be a very hard time for you to stand out from the crowd. Number 4 is take success rate with a grain of salt. Probably the bootcamps are showing you all these successful rates, how many people are actually getting their job placement right after they graduated from the bootcamp. But what you're not thinking is that how many people are actually be in the field, because there are so many positions out there are considered tech adjacent, which means they're not really a development job. They're more like a solution engineer or a business analyst that are somehow related to tech, but it's not exactly a developer job. So take it as a grain of salt, meaning that when they tell you the percentage of how many people are actually getting into the field, take it of like a discounted rate. Like probably it's not going to be 100% of what they're telling you. The fifth thing is not everybody is going to get your dream job when you're first getting out of the bootcamp. A lot of times you might actually have to take a job that you're not 100% enjoy, or even a company that you don't feel so excited about, just to get that experience, so then you can jump onto other opportunities when you get more experience under your belt. So don't expect that right after the coding bootcamp you're gonna get into all these big tech companies like Google, Facebook, Uber, like that. Think about, you might actually need to start working at a pretty decent small tech companies to start building up your experience before you even getting into some decent sizes of companies. Most likely Google, Facebook, Amazon, all these big tech companies might not be your first job. By that, I don't mean that everybody is going to have the same experience. I don't mean to say that don't try to apply for all these companies. Definitely apply to these companies and get the practice. But what I'm saying is, don't think about going to a coding bootcamp is going to take you to Google or is going to take you to a really prestigious tech company. It takes a lot of time to build up that experience, because I know a coding bootcamp is a lot of time and energy and effort. It's definitely a lot of hard work. I wouldn't want you to just invest that money and energy into the bootcamp without even thinking, all of these things that I've talked about. If you wanted to learn more about coding bootcamps or even alternatives of taking a Udemy courses to take you to the same result, make sure to check out the video that I listed over here for Udemy courses and how do you get a job after Udemy courses. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, share this video with someone else. Until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Adios.